That's why you started your program and teaching on wellness, how to be well in all terms of life, right?
Yes, Kennetic-Fit and Wellness. Well, first, let's go from the beginning. I'm the founder and CEO of Kennetic-Fit and Wellness, which goes into three elements of life. One is physical fitness. So I train people one-on-one or couples training, all levels of fitness, whether you're a beginner or intermediate, or if you're training for a specific competition or event. That's one element. The second element is physical therapy for those that have been in accidents or have muscle injuries from playing certain sports or any type of injury, personal injury, work injury, sports injury. We do rehabilitation or physical therapy, or what I call physiotherapy, cupping, electronic stim therapy, stretch techniques, realignment techniques. All of it is to help with the healing process. That way, it kind of eliminates the need for pain medications, or you can reduce them greatly by doing more natural therapies. And then the third element is what I call holistic life counsel, because I have my board certification as a holistic psychology practitioner. I can counsel people locally or anywhere from around the world, since we're in this technological era, just like what we're doing right now. So holistic life counsel goes into getting to the root causes of what has caused the negative circumstances or adverse circumstances. And so we all can have a chance, a better chance at being better as we start over and take a look in our mirror and reflect on how we've gotten ourselves to where we are right now as we speak, positive or negative. And so for those that, want talk, so for those that want talk therapy, or what I call absolute brain and mind conditioning, we can go any direction you want. Talk therapy is for those that just simply want some feedback or some considerations or suggestions on how they want to move forward in life, or how they want to move forward in their current circumstances. Talk therapy, things that are on the surface right now, today or yesterday, or the things that they think will be on the table tomorrow. Now, for those that want deeper therapy, or who want to change their entire brain chemistry, that's when we would do brain and mind conditioning, which goes into changing the entire brain chemistry based on certain conditioning statements that you're telling yourself every single day. So you can break down all the neural connections that are in the brain and break those like old branches on a tree. You know, when you have old branches on a tree and they're dried and they haven't been tended to, they will wither away and die. So in the brain, neurons act in the same manner. So when we create new brain chemistry in the brain, it creates new chemistry in your bloodstream, and that creates magnetism. So you magnetize or manifest, that's what some people call it, manifest. But either way, you're going to magnetize things towards you based on your new way of thinking, based on your new creation of brain chemistry. This is brain chemistry that you create on your own versus outside influences creating them for you.
Stranger in your mind, right?
Yes. So getting back to nature, getting back to our fundamental nature, because thought is fundamental. I mean, we all have the capability to think. And the more we feed our brains brain foods such as positive thoughts, positive emotions, being around positive people that possibly want the same things that you do, and that way it builds, it creates affinity. It creates affinity, and it creates what we call the mastermind. All those things come into play, but getting back to nature is the best way as far as I'm concerned. It's the best way to get back to you. That's why we call it natural healing, or healing yourself naturally, because we all have that capability to heal ourselves naturally. All of us have self-healing capabilities, all 7 billion people on the planet. The only thing is we've been thoroughly conditioned to believe that we don't have those capabilities. You know, we've been conditioned to believe that we have to be completely dependent or reliant on a pharmaceutical industry or the medical profession or allopathic medical profession to solve all of our health challenges.
Yeah, basically you're giving out your power. You don't trust yourself, you trust into somebody else, right?
That's right.
And at the
That's
same
right.
time, we're questioning all the time, how can I trust you, right? In a certain conditions. But over here, no brainer, just trust in you for some reason.
Yes, a lot of people, well, we're so used to the allopathic way of conducting our health, the moment you mention anything natural, oh, I don't want to take that. My doctor says I can't do anything like that because that might be harmful for me. Now, these are natural products that come from the earth, but because we've been so conditioned to believe in synthetics versus nature, this is why we have the illness epidemic that we do here in America and abroad, for that matter, because all the many of your illnesses that we see here in America, we see them in other developed countries now. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, those are the big three here in America, but now we're seeing them in other parts of the world, and they're increasing year by year, annually, they're increasing.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, this month acknowledges mental health awareness, and which is something that I'm passionate about. Also, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which I'm passionate about as well. Not so much specifically breast cancer, but just cancer as an illness. But going back to your question about mental illness, prolonged negative behaviors or prolonged behaviors that create adverse circumstances for a person, the standard is that the behavior is labeled. And when the behavior is labeled, such as being bipolar or being manic depressive, by nature, all of us are bipolar. We all experience happiness. We all experience sadness to varying degrees. All of us experience anxiety, just to varying degrees. It's all about self-control or learning to be in control of your emotions. It's okay to have the emotion, but having or being labeled as having a disorder because of a prolonged behavior pattern, that's not you. But if the label has been attached to you for a certain amount of time, certain people will start to believe that that's who they are, and they're going to have that condition for the rest of their lives as being as being bipolar, or having bipolar depression or manic depression. Those are the two biggest or most common of disorders on the table: chronic anxiety and chronic depression. And most anxieties and depressions are based on not knowing how to control your emotions, because we're so caught up in everyday living, the matrix, where we don't take the time out to acknowledge ourselves and make sure our own selves are taken care of. We take care of everyone else first. And then we run out of energy taking care of everyone else. We deplete all of our energy taking care of everyone else. And then when it's time for us to take care of ourselves, we're so broken down, we don't know where to start first. We don't know where to start. And then we go to a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist for assistance, and based on their teachings, based on how they've been taught in standard clinical psychology or standard psychiatry. The standard is based on a prolonged behavior. You're going to be labeled as being whatever label is appropriate for your behavior. And again, the two most common are anxiety and depression. And then once you have a diagnosis, then there's possible or more than likely prescription after prescription after prescription.
This is how they're fixing you.
Yes, of pharmacy drugs or psych, what they call psych meds that wreak havoc on the human brain. It literally changes the entire way the brain operates. Talk about natural functioning. There is no way that the brain can function naturally when it's being pumped full of synthetics. Continue to have it well into their adulthood. Why? Because of what you said earlier. We're ignorant to information. If you don't know what you don't know, and in allopathic medicine, they make sure we don't know.
That's right. That's right.
They make sure we don't know. So when we get the information, the correct information on what creates diabetes or what creates this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is why holistics, what I do is about getting to the root cause. We don't have to do all the guesswork. When people go to an oncologist to have some kind of testing, especially for women, women have to know that when you have a mammogram or mammography, you're actually increasing your chances of developing breast cancer by way of the overabundance of synthetic radiation. The standard cancer industry will tell you as a woman that mammographies are great for you and you have to have them, or it's recommended for you to have them at least once per year, starting at the age of 40.
Residual, yeah, because it's residual income.
Right. Right.
Not for you.
Right. I mean, cancer is, or breast cancer, I can speak specifically on breast cancer. Many women are recommended to check for lumps and to feel under their breast for lumps and things of this nature. The way I was taught, the more you feed your mind with notions that something might be, that something may be approaching.
Worry.
Yeah, something might be there, or a tumor or a cyst or a lump maybe lurking around the corner for you. So every time that you are searching for something, you're opening up the floodgates for that very thing to happen to you at some point.
Yeah, what you're afraid of, you will have.
That's right. That's
and
right.
What you wish for, you will have too.
That's right. It's the fear factor. It's the fear factor, and more the cancer industrial complex wants women to be in total and utter fear of breast cancer. It's big business.
As you know, if you will start to treat that problem normally and organically, you will be against the law.
Right.
It's against the law to be healthy.
Right. And if you dare to recommend it to someone else, then they come after you. I mean, I can only, if I recommend what I do to take care of myself, if I recommend it to you, for example, we're online right now. People are watching. I've had 3 of my videos deleted from YouTube because of what they call medical misinformation. That's what they call it, medical misinformation.
Yeah.
As if I'm not allowed to learn about how my own body functions. That's what they're saying, that I'm giving medical misinformation because I taught myself how to take care of myself. And I want to recommend to other, and I want to recommend to other people how they can take care of themselves. My job is not to invade the territory of allopathic medicine. If people want to continue to go to them for their remedies, they can do that. They're free. Anyone's free to go to allopathic medicine. But for those that see what the results have been over and over and over again, and they see what the results have been for their loved ones, mom, dad, uncle, aunt, that have developed cancer and have been going to these institutions over and over again for chemotherapy and radiation, and they end up being more sick, and the cancer spreads more after the fact of these treatments, these barbaric treatments at that.
Very generous on your knowledge, and I like that you not hold back. So I would love to give my advice for people who are listening to this interview. Take advantage and call to Freemason.
That's right.
To become free wherever you are over there.
Yes. For anyone out there that's watching that want to be free of diabetes or heart disease, or free of anxiety and depression and compulsiveness and negative behaviors and all of these things, Kennetic-Fit and Wellness may be the right decision to make for you. Hey, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Absolutely. And the last one, if I may to ask, what do you think, what is your uniqueness, or what is your strongest part on what you're doing? Why people have to choose you? Because so many people are doing the same as you.
Well, I try to make things as simplistic as possible because we just don't know. We don't speak their language. So they can tell us anything. And because they're physicians, because they have an MD behind their name or a DR in front of their name, that means they get automatic credibility versus myself. I don't have any of those titles, but I can give you information that just makes sense. That makes sense. And also the results, they say the proof is in the pudding. There's people all over the world that have cured or healed themselves. There's documentaries all over America that have documented people healing themselves. And I'd use the word heal on purpose because here in America, you can't use the word cure.
Yeah.
So for those that want to heal themselves, you can do that, but it's having the right information and having it conveyed to you in a way to where it's understandable. Make them understand a little easier. So if they do choose to go the natural route, it can be simplified and it won't be difficult. You don't have to monitor things. You won't overdose on drinking too much juice.
That's right.
You can't overdose on drinking too much carrot juice or apple juice. You can overdose on taking too many heart medication pills. You can overdose on Xanax.
Oh yeah, God forbid.
Right? But you're not going to overdose on drinking water to flush all that stuff out. You're not going to overdose on drinking too much carrot juice. You're not going to overdose on eating too many apples so you can have some fiber in your system. You may get a tummy ache, but that will subside within minutes. Within minutes. But you can overdose on taking too much liver medication, reuptake inhibitors. Any of these protocols, just know that anything synthetic will create some kind of adverse chemistry in the body. So going natural is the best way. It's been working for thousands of years. We can go back to the days of Hippocrates and of Greece and Imhotep of Africa. These are the first people that healed all the nations, not with Alexapro or Cymbalta.
Yeah.
No, with nature's remedies, plant life, like you said earlier, plant food, chlorophyll, all of your vital minerals from the mineral table, your calcium, your magnesium, your iron, all of these elements that are otherwise missing in the body, which is why many of your illnesses exist, because it's malnutrition or malnourishment, or something is missing in the body. There's not enough of something in the body. There's not the right fuel. We put the wrong fuel in the body. You can't put regular unleaded fuel in a diesel truck. It won't start. Or you can't put diesel fuel in your economy car. It won't start. You have to put the right fuel in. For talk therapy or absolute brain and mind conditioning, for prolonged thought and emotional challenges due to your experiences of life through the many avenues of life, choose Kennetic-Fit and Wellness. Mental attitude first.